Welcome to the Loaded Cannon Antalya edition. I'm in Turkey on holiday, but as always, you've got to make time for the Arsenal and watch the game, especially when you're chasing a title. And in fact, I've forgotten to say this. If your team is top of the league, as it stands right now, obviously, hit the like button on this video because Arsenal did the business today. We got the result, and this is the results part of the season. Performance-wise, look, we'll get into it. I feel a bit confused because, look, you all know I hate Man United, and we've just gone to Man United away from home, and we've gone and beaten them 1-0. And I never at any point in the game felt threatened by them. I never ever felt like they were going to score. And saying all of that, which usually that would be enough for me to be really, really happy about the result. The fact that we've, number one, come away with the win, and number two, they haven't even posed a threat. But I kind of watched the game and I wasn't buzzing afterwards. And I think, when I think about why that is, I think the performance was awful from us. For us to play like that and win away from home could only be achieved against a bang average mid-table team. And we're lucky that's what we came up against today. Because if we came up against any team that's half decent, we would not have won today. We were poor. Hardly anyone had a game to remember. I think we have Saliba, who I thought was brilliant today. Absolutely just man of the match for me, hands down. Thought he was really, really good. But we were sloppy all over the park. Really, really were. Partey was sloppy. Saka was sloppy. Ødegaard was sloppy. It was actually disappointing how we, especially second half, just sat back and let them come onto us. Before the game, I looked at the lineup and I looked at their team and I thought to myself, like, my God, Man United fans, when one day in the future, I know unfortunately it's going to happen, but one day in the future when they're half decent again, they will look back at the lineup of this game and they'll refer to this as the bad times. They'll look at some of the players that they had on the pitch today. They're nobodies, absolute nobodies. They wouldn't even get onto our bench. And I looked at it and I thought, if we want to batter them, they're there for the taking. We could absolutely batter this team, but we just didn't. We didn't really take the game by the scruff of the neck. Perhaps we scored, obviously with the high stakes of the season and everything that's riding on it, it was all about the result. So I kind of forgive the players that a little bit. And scoring after, 20 minutes, Trossard again, just brilliant, and Kai Havertz, unbelievable work, but completely aided by Man United's defending, which we'll talk about the goal after. But anyway, yeah, it's the results part of the season, and it was perhaps that we scored so early that we just want to consolidate the result and not concede, which in a way didn't make for a good game. It didn't make for an enjoyable game. I was very, very frustrated watching the game, and I wanted Arsenal to show a bit more bravery. But if we did show more bravery, if we did show more ambition and we're much better going forward, maybe I'd be complaining because we would have drawn 1-1. So look, you can't have it both ways. Ultimately, I am happy today. I'm not buzzing. I am happy because we won the game, and that's what you have to do. We've now navigated a really, really, really tough run of fixtures. And it's funny because I remember a few weeks ago saying we've got Tottenham, Chelsea, Man United to play, and then I'd say, and Villa. But really, I felt like they were the danger games. Tottenham, Chelsea, United, all of them. All of those clubs would love to have sort of derailed our season. And Tottenham away, Man United away as well. Look, they're tough games. You look at them and they're tough games. But it's funny how it all works out because we've gone and battered Chelsea 5-0. Tottenham convincing away from home. Man United, we played awful, but because they're such a bad team, we managed to beat them anyway. And then it's actually Villa at home, which out of those 4 games, I looked at and I thought, do you know what? We should win that, especially being at home. But I think it just goes to show that with Villa in that 4th spot, and hopefully they'll get it instead of Tottenham, they deserve to be there and they did a great job against us and they actually deserve to win that game. And that feels like it's the game that's going to cost us. And it's Unai Emery. It's just so annoying to look back on that because now having successfully navigated the Chelsea, Tottenham, Man United games and got 9 points out of those 3 really tricky fixtures, which made me think, we'll probably slip up along the way in one of those games. And we haven't. And that's why this team deserves a lot of credit because when you look at games against the big 6, the other teams in the big 6 this season, we're undefeated. I think 6 wins, 4 draws, which is unbelievable. 22 points out of 30. To me, there's so much good to come out of this season in terms of us being a proper team. And I'll be honest with you, it was a few years ago, I thought to myself, are Arsenal ever going to win the league again in my lifetime? Honestly, that's how I felt. I felt like it was so far away. And now I feel like, do you know what? Within the next 3 years, I'll be going to a parade where we've won the Premier League. That's how I feel. I feel so confident now that the job that Mikel Arteta has done with the age profile of this squad and how well they've done, how far they've come on from last year. This is not Arsenal losing the league. This is Man City winning it. No one can say about this team that we've bottled it. What Liverpool have done, yeah, they fell off. So maybe something's going on there, but from the outside in, it looks like they've bottled it. But maybe something's going on there with all the Klopp leaving and the Salah stuff, whatever. But Arsenal have not bottled it this year. And I was quite honest. The year before, we fell off. We did not handle the pressure. Even the year before that, when we were going for Champions League, we didn't handle the pressure. This year, we've handled the pressure. And I'd always said that Declan Rice, for me, elevates this team. And I think all season, we've seen that he has elevated this team and he's made us a different animal. So I'm going to give this team a lot of credit because what we've done, we've taken the title challenge to the final day. Provided we win against Everton, look, we've done well. We haven't done well enough, obviously, because Man City, if they go on with the league. But now I look at Arsenal on their own merits, and I say to myself, do you know what? We're nearly there. Maybe we've lost 1 game more than we should have. We've lost 5 games this season, and that's too much if you want to win a league against Man City. But Arsenal have done brilliantly this season. So I think hats off to all the players, how they've dealt with the last 8 games of the season with that one slip up against Aston Villa, and it's going to cost us dearly. But fingers crossed. I mean, I don't want to get my hopes up because I don't think it's going to happen. But, Tottenham away from Man City. If we could go there and beat them, I'm sure Man City can go there and beat them. And also, are Tottenham even really going to show up? It's a weird one because on one hand, you look at the club, you think of Tottenham, you think of their fans, and you think, what would they want from that game? If they've got no chance of getting Champions League, of course they're going to want to lose it because they don't want Arsenal to win the league. But let's not forget, the players are not Tottenham fans. They're from all around the world. They just want to play football and they want to win, right? So hopefully they'll be putting in 100%. They're obviously not going to get the instruction to throw the game. So we just have to hope. Because I don't see West Ham doing anything against Man City on the final day. So it's all eyes on that Tottenham game, and I know all Arsenal fans are going to be watching it, feeling dirty and hoping Tottenham are going to win or at least draw in that game. But anyway, let's see what happens. The goal today, I just have to talk about that for a second because it was comedy. It's just absolute comedy. Casemiro, where was he? He was so far behind his defensive line, he might as well have been off the pitch. And Kai Havertz, I mean, do you know what? Kai Havertz, actually, it was intelligent play because I don't think that he's that brainless that he would have been in that position so far offside in his own mind. He must have known Casemiro was there. He obviously has looked across the line. So actually, it's brilliant play from Kai Havertz to be that far away from Casemiro so Casemiro doesn't sense the danger, but to be able to give an option down the line. Brilliant. And then brilliant work as well with the assist. But Casemiro was the first comedy. Then Johnny Evans doing nothing to block the shot. Honestly, it was just funny to watch just how bad Man United are. And then Wan-Bissaka, as he always does, instead of doing anything sensible, just decides to slide randomly somewhere on the pitch and hope it works out for him. Slid into the goal, and Trossard again coming up with the goods. And that's why he's in the team. That's why Kai Havertz is in the team. If someone had said to me, you're going to go to Man United away, second last game of the season, and you need to win, and you're going to have Gabriel Jesus on the bench and not a single person is going to complain about it, I would have said, surely not. That sounds crazy to me. But Kai Havertz deserves to start. He proved it again. So does Trossard. Overall, a lot of players have proved themselves to a lot of fans this season. David Raya being one of them. But you know what? With David Raya as well, I still don't trust him from crosses. And Mikel Arteta said recently, look, if you want to improve the team, sometimes you have to make difficult decisions. I actually wouldn't renew his loan, even though he's got Golden Glove. I would go and get a world-class keeper if possible, because I feel like actually that's the sort of thing that can elevate us even further if we were to really do something in the Champions League. But anyway, I shouldn't even be talking about that today. Fingers crossed, a miracle happens. 180 minutes of football for Man City, and hopefully one of those games doesn't go to plan for them, and then Arsenal win it. What an unbelievable end to the season. What an unbelievable final day it will be if we end that 20-year wait. Come on, Arsenal. I'll see you on the final day.